collapsing in on yourself.
Well, I don't know about you boys, but I'm pretty beat.
Well, it's too damn bad you never found that Bob character. Seems a shame you never had to pay.
Well, funny thing about that, I did have one more chance at him. Six months ago, I heard that Butch and Sundance were back in the States and had gathered up some of their old gang. I tracked them down, hoping that Roscoe Bob Bryant had returned with them.
So you're saying they didn't die down in Bolivia?
That's what I'm saying.
Ah. Bom, mal e o morto. Ugly.
For 40 years I had waited to get my hands on the last of my brother's killers. Not even an army of demons could have stopped me now.
Oh!
Both Johnny Ringo and Jim Reed fell fairly quickly. But the last one, Roscoe Bob Bryant, that son of a bitch had managed to escape my vengeance time and time again. I couldn't even be certain I'd recognize him after all those years. By now, he had to be close to 70.
Ok.
For all you know, he could have been dead.
That thought had indeed crossed my mind, as did others.
Eu achei que ia ser igual os outros, onde o jogo só dá as teclas pra você apertar. Ainda bem que eu peguei o negócio que revela inimigo atrás de mim.
By this point in my storied career, I had killed more men than Bob Bryant ever had.
Oh! Calma aí, cara.
Nothing could stop me from taking his life. I'd been after that killer forever. From the time I rode with Billy the Kid. But that chapter of my story you already know.
Chapter of that fairy tale, you mean?
Suddenly it was 1910. There I was, an old man roaming a ghost town dead almost 2 decades. The town was falling apart, just like me.
Não, achei que ia ter como pegar alguma coisa na casa. Uf.
But I wasn't about to call it quits.
O reflexo desse cara é incrível às vezes, hein?
De fato.
Pô, eu peguei 300 mil pro cara, velho.
Even though the ghosts of my
Diz que
dead
vender
brothers
droga não dá
were begging
dinheiro.
me to end what I started so long ago.
Mr. Graves, are you all right? Would you like some water?
The Wild Bunch knew I was there. They
In the
were after a
corredor?
treasure they had hidden before they fled, buried in the grave of a
Eu
dead
tô no
amigo.
corredor?
Some folks think the town is haunted, so they figured there wouldn't be many people poking around. I intended to fill that grave with Bob Bryant's corpse. But like I said, the bandits knew I was on to them. They lured me in and hit me with everything they had.
Ilhazinha, reputação. Whoa. What the fuck are you? Oh. Okay.
A parede tá quebrando com cada tiro, isso não é bom.
De fato não é.
Não pode mover a visão. Cadê o telefone? Não, mensagem.
Obviously prevailed since you're sitting here telling us today.
Actually, in that moment, I did not prevail.
So I suppose we're talking to a ghost.
Funny you should put it like that, Jack.
Acabei de ver uma árvore que cresceu na porta pra eu não sair.
Because when I woke up,
From the dead?
there was silence all around me. I could swear to God I saw Billy then.
Billy who?
Billy, the kid. William Bonney. He was shooting at me from a rooftop. Here, there, even over there.
So I am right. You are touched in the head.
Mr. Greaves, perhaps we should switch you to coffee?
You see that old Indian again, too?
No, but I did see Billy's killer. Patrick Floyd Garrett. He came at me guns a-blazing. But I knew that old war horse had died 2 years before. I wondered if maybe I was dead too and confronting the ghosts of my past. Perhaps all my sins were coming back to haunt me and drag me down to perdition.
Tá difícil aqui.
Certamente.
I saw Henry Plummer throw dynamite at me. And in the gates of the cemetery, I saw John Wesley Hardin, just like I remembered him. Robert Ollinger appeared with his terrible double-barrel shotgun. But no ghost army was stopping me.
My father-in-law got hit with a fallen branch. He spent the rest of his life talking to dogs.
Newman Hayes Clanton, William Brocious, John Peters Ringo, they all wanted me dead.
Jesus. Pelo menos as armas são bem efetivas contra fantasma, hein?
The Dalton brothers, Robert and Grattan, guardians of the Garden of the Dead. George Curry and Harvey Logan, alias Kid Curry, both thirsty for vengeance from the Great Dead.
Ok.
Jesse, Woodson, James, and Jim Reed. Each one deader than the next. I thought I would go crazy.
Thought?
Você pensou que você tá atirando em nada?
Vai que ele na real tá alucinando bandidos com fantasmas. Por isso que ele realmente tá sentindo como se ele tivesse morto.
Finally, I saw Harry Alonzo Longabaugh.
The Sundance Kid?
Like a general leading his legion of the dead.
You told us before you've seen him alive.
He was alive.
Como que ele não morreu com todo esse tiro?
Ele tem resistência. Gol.
Oh wow, what the fuck?
Yeah, you think?
I heard a voice call to me from afar. It was Robert Leroy Parker, a.k.a. Butch Cassidy, coming at me from out of the fog.
Thanks for taking care of that bastard.
Foi muito perto isso.
De fato.
Vai ter duelo contra dois. Oh, uau.
But the kid wasn't quite deceased. Not yet.
Takes more than one little bullet to kill the likes of me, partner.
Those two looked
Oh,
like
foi
they hadn't seen
mais.
each other for quite a while. Clearly, they were no longer amigos.
Shit. I was hoping I wouldn't have to kill you. You won't have to, Butch. I'm killing you first.
I asked them about Bob Bryant, but they were too busy with their own heated conversation.
Let me get this shit straight. You want my money and the love of my life? You frittered it all away, Butch. Eda's mine. So is that damn money.
I didn't want to shoot anybody until I had an answer to my question, but those boys didn't give me much of a choice.
Oh, não.
Voltei.
Tem outro duelo em dobro. Eu vi passos mexicanos para mudar seu foco para o inimigo que estiver olhando para você.
Nossa, a velocidade ferrou tanto.
Tem entrega pra fazer amanhã.
E eu não percebi. Eu tava tentando ver quem que tava olhando pra mim e a velocidade já era ali. Ok, eu vou rezar que esse é o que mira em mim primeiro, sabe? Vai, velocidade.
Ah, excelente agora.
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid died there in that cemetery.
Quando eu tiro eu
not 6
pensei,
months
pera, era
ago.
pra mudar o alvo também, eu tava com medo que ele já tava mirando em mim. Essa aqui foi a precisão 69.
Cara,
Ok, esse foi um dos momentos.
mas
Carregando o
Não.
final. Oh, já? Já é o
Butch
final, então?
Cassidy and the Sundance Kid were killed by the Bolivian army. Everybody knows that.
That's the legend, but it ain't the truth.
So, you never found Bob? There is no Bob. This old sumbitch ain't even Silas Greaves.
Sir, is that true? Have you been pulling our legs this whole time?
Well, not the whole time.
Oh man, I think you've worn out your welcome here.
Maybe you're right, Jack. Maybe it's time to pay. You see, Ben, or should I say Bob, your past always catches up with you.
What?
was a different man back then, crazy. Drinking, I've changed my ways, I swear to you. If I could turn back the clock,
But you can't, Bob.
Eita.
Oitavo. Oh.
Vingança.
Vingança?
Vingança.
É Davi? Sim, então?
Eu não sei, cara. Você escolhe.
Eu iria de vingança.
why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Here. I won't have it said that I left you with nothing.
That's how you want it? So be it.
Oh, mas esse deve ser um dos duelos mais difíceis, já que é o final, então, hein?
Holy
Yeah.
shit, Molly! Move against that wall. Go!
Oh! Que... Eu não jogo nem vai...
Não tem Resident
Não tem Resident.
É literalmente como se fosse vida real em vez de ser um jogo agora.
Não. Por favor, seja com velocidade alta, a mão tá mais baixo possível.
No geral parece que tá bom até. Vamos ver.
Oh,
Ah!
Oh, Jesus!
eu não sei, eu tava esperando ele ser bem mais rápido.
Caralho,
Na
tem
real, você só
muita
teve uma
pena,
tentativa
muda
muito boa
macho.
naquela.
Isso sim.
Did you know it was him all along?
Cassidy told me Bob was in Abilene before he died. But I wasn't sure Ben was my man until he revealed how much he knew about Ringo and Reed.
Foi assim que ele morreu.
Coin, of course. Well, that was the last nail in that particular coffin.
I better go get the sheriff.
You okay, boy? You're looking mighty shook up.
Dwight, maybe you best go home. Young Eisenhower here is leaving for West Point tomorrow. He shouldn't get caught up in something like this.
I think I might head out myself at this juncture. Unless you want to stop me, Jack.
No, sir, Mr. Graves.
So where you going now? Now that you had your revenge?
Doesn't really matter, does it? As I've sold my soul for it, and will never again walk with those I have lost.
Uau.
Ok. Não tava esperando essa, só na luta final, sem HUD ainda.
Então. Isso foi uma boa coisa legal, cara.
Pântano. Vamos para o pântano.
Ah, ele tá cantando aquela música de novo. Tô hora de jogar o jogo inteiro de novo pra pegar outro final.
But you can't, Bob.
Why'd you toy with me like that? Telling those tales, knowing all along. Why not just lay your cards on the table?
Wanted to suss you out, Bob. See what kind of man you turned out to be. Maybe prod you into drawing on me. See, all those years on your trail turned me into a killer. Can't even remember who I was before you tried to murder me. You, on the other hand, walked that very same path in exactly the opposite direction.
What do you mean by that?
You think your life is worth sparing, Bob? Boy, what's your name again?
It's Eisenhower, sir. Dwight Eisenhower.
What do you plan to do with your life, Dwight Eisenhower?
Tomorrow I'll be leaving for West Point, sir.
So, you want to be a soldier? Well, then do it right, son. Don't tear down the world out of anger and spite like I did. You build it up. You do something decent with your life, you hear me?
Sir? Yes, sir.
I won't have it said I left you with nothing, Bob.
That was pretty nice.
Vale.
Devo dizer, ainda gostei mais do duelo em si, que remove a HUD pra dar um suspense. Bem que foi um dos mais fáceis que teve.
Também. Mas eles deram um tone down no negócio, já que não tinha as redes pra saber.